friends, and welcome to another reading time with Ring Around Ronina. So, if you're like me and you love going on hikes and you love nature, then I totally recommend this book. And I guarantee you will go through this book over and over again because it's just so unique and so cool. And today I wanted to show you this book, and it's called The Hike, written and illustrated by Alison Farrell. The Hike. And on the title page, it looks like there's a scrapbook, and it says, "Do not forget, Ren. Pencil for me, pencil for L. Flag. L. Poems. Hattie. Feathers. Hanky for feathers. Also Ren, this sketchbook." Yoo-hoo! Almost ready? Just one more cut. Just a few more feathers. And over here it looks like there's a sunflower. Three Sisters Garden. And over here I see that there are hiking trail signs. It says Buck Mountain, Licorice Fern Loop, Trillium Trail, and Alder Lake. Ooh, that looks fun. We are going on a hike. Ren, Elle, Hattie, and Bean. Over here you see a mountain chickadee. There is a snowberry bush over here. Now, I'm not sure if you can eat snowberries, but here it is over here. And there's a chipmunk. Here's a red fox, a mullein. People make medicine out of mullein plants. Here is a bumblebee, lupin. These purple flowers are called lupin. And there's a sign that says Buck Mountain. Here is a Steller's jay feather. A Steller's jay is a bird, and you usually find it on the west coast of North America. So it makes me think this book is somewhere in the west coast. It's our favorite thing to do. Over here, there's a salmonberry bush, deer fern. Here's some English ivy. Here's some barred owlets. Some people call this hoot owls. And sometimes they hunt during the day. So maybe that's why they're awake right now. Here's a knothole. Here's an Oregon grape. Oh, maybe this book was set in Oregon. And shook. Here is the Steller's jay. Fairy ring mushrooms right here. And a porcupine quill or a porcupine feather. Hey, wait for me! Arf! Oh, what's on this page? I see an old man's beard, a swarm of bees. Over here, there's a chipmunk nest. So chipmunks have to dig really deep, and then they make their nest really deep underground. Here's wild columbine. Here's a burdock plant, and this is the taproot, which is the main big root of the plant. And over here you see flocks of birds. In the beginning, we run like maniacs until a ripe patch of thimbleberries slows us down. Here, these are thimbleberries. Thimbleberries are similar to raspberries. They're really sweet and juicy. And here's a Douglas fir bough. Western toad. And over here it looks like Hattie can't reach the thimbleberries. Elle teaches us how to make leaf baskets. Like this, Elle? Yep. And over here it looks like we could take a glimpse of Ren's sketchbook. This is Ren, and that's her sketchbook. It says leaf baskets, Elle's instructions. And here are the instructions. Oh, look, and the chipmunk is right there. Looks like the chipmunk is joining their adventure too. Here's a Douglas fir cone. Oh, we may have eaten too many berries. Is that possible? I thought we were saving some for later. Okay, what do we have on this page? Look, here is a nurse log. A nurse log is basically a dead tree that's really old and had fallen, but it provides a lot of nutrients to other trees. So that's why this tree is growing on a nurse log. And over here we have turkey tail mushrooms, and it's over here on the nurse log. So this is really important too when you're hiking. You have to look for mushrooms because they usually grow on dead branches or dead trees. So if you wanted to swing on a tree branch, or if you wanted to sit on a tree branch, make sure it doesn't have mushrooms, because if it does, then that means that branch could just snap and break and you could really hurt yourself. Here's a pileated woodpecker, and it looks like this is a dead tree as well. Carpenter ants. Did we miss anything? Yeah, I think that's it for this page. The hike gets steep and the trail narrows. Boo! Ah! Hattie, how'd you get up there so fast? What do we have on this page? Ooh, look, here's a vanilla leaf. If you dry these up, this could be really good tea. A porcupine climbing a cedar tree, a hollow tree, or basically a hole on the tree. And then you have the redwood sorrel plants and the stinky bob. This is actually called herb Robert, but it's called stinky bob by a lot of people because if you pick the leaves and if you crush it, it really is stinky. And here's another sign that says perimeter loop. We get lost. Which way is north? I'm pretty sure we were not supposed to cross a river yet. Now let's go back and take a look at this page. Oyster mushrooms, a beaver over here, a damselfly. This one isn't labeled, but this looks like a beaver dam over here. You have Cascades frog. And look, Hattie's standing on a turtle shell. I don't know how true that is. That might just be funny. What else? Oh, and here's lichen. Lichen is like moss that grow on trees. They grow on trees. And over here you have red alder catkins. When you see this when you're hiking, that usually means it's springtime. And look, Wren's foot goes tap, 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 because she's thinking hard. Did we go left after the berry patch? Right, I think. Wren, what's another word for blue? Azure? Cerulean? Cobalt? Over here you can see the trillium, the mallow. Oh, and it looks like they're getting ready for a little rest and a little snack because they have their apples out, they have their gorp out. Gorp is like trail mix. You have dried fruit and nuts. It's a very good hiking snack. And you have your violets over here and another glimpse of Wren's sketchbook. Hattie always finds the root. Bird's eye view of Hattie right here. And then you have bunchberry and a sign of beaver. Beavers always chew wood because their teeth continue to grow. It keeps growing and it will never stop. So they have to chew on wood, otherwise it's going to hurt them. And they also collect wood to make their beaver dams. We're halfway there. In no time, we get back on track. Who made these? She's investigating the tracks on the ground. And over here it says it's a Chelan mountain snail. A deer walks past. Bean sneezes. Achoo! We see a black morel mushroom, salal, a tree burl. A tree burl is basically, it's a different way that the tree grew, so it looks a little different. Western tiger swallowtail butterfly. Here's a maidenhair fern, and here's the white deer. The deer vanishes so quick, we wonder if it was really there. so quick. And look at Wren's face. A light rain comes and goes. The birds are happy. We listen to them chirp and chatter in the trees. This is the river we were looking for, right, Hattie? Yep. Looks like Hattie is really good with maps. Here's mountain whitefish. What else is here? Oh, we see torrent salamander. Oh, and over here we see a mountain bluebird, plantain, false Solomon seal, and a foxglove. And over here you see Anna's hummingbird. And here's another glimpse of Wren's sketchbook. Birds we saw at Whitefish River, Anna's hummingbird, mountain chickadee, mountain bluebird. Hattie gets tired. Elle offers to carry her. We can't hear you. I said 30 minutes to the top. Here you have some king bolete mushroom. These mushrooms are huge. Banana slug. And then over here you see a plunge waterfall, horsetail, raven. Some people call this crows or raven. Soon, Elle is tired too. And this is pretty cool because it looks like the path it passes under the waterfall. That is really cool. Giddy up! I can't do this much longer. Ride's over, everyone. Brr, it's getting cold. So let's go back and see what's on the page. Creeping penstemon, cushion pink. And then over here, we see glacier striations, which is basically scratches on the rock made by the glacier. Golden fleabane. I see dwarf alpine over here. And here's another hiking sign. So this says summit. If you follow this arrow, you're going to go to the summit, which is the top. This one says perimeter loop, which is going back to the trail. And here's a cairn. Cairns are very interesting because these are rock balancing, and it's basically for marking so that you tell other people that you were there. In Canada, up in the Arctic, people call this the Inukshuk. And yeah, and here's cirrus cloud. At the top, Wren takes out her flag. Elle reads her poem, and Hattie releases feathers into the wind. We did it. It looks like it's pretty cold at the summit because look, they're wearing their jackets and they're using their toques. And they go back down, 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 down. All the way home. And you can see it's nighttime because you can see the stars and the constellations. The end. And more notes. Oh, from Wren's sketchbook. Right here, she wrote about the Stellar's jay, the barred owlets, the dead trees. Here's the nurse log that I was talking about. The swarm of bees, and the plants, and the deer. Over here, the snowberry. Oh, snowberry, aka ghostberry. Delicious for birds, toxic for people. Okay, so I guess you can't eat the snowberry. Redwood sorrel, the vanilla leaf. Oh, and here's some information about the porcupine and the beaver. And here it says, thimbleberries are too delicate for packing and shipping, so you're not likely to find them in a store. You can only eat thimbleberries when you go hiking in the woods. And here's more. And here's the phases of the moon. The end. And I also want to show you the front cover of the book, which is Wren's sketchbook. How cool is that? So if you look, it looks like Wren's sketchbook. I really love this book, and this is one of those books where you could go over and over and over again with your children, especially if you go on hikes and you can go on a scavenger hunt and find the things that you read in the book and find it out in the woods. That will be super fun. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this book.